in that amount of time here, you got a 7 out of 10 chance of that turning into a check.
Oh yeah. Like each hour that I prospect is like $600 for me.
Today we're going to be going direct to seller. I know this is a dirty little secret that I've been keeping away from everybody, that I've been testing and doing direct to seller. Monique and I have been working on some canceled and expireds and probate leads. And in the last couple of months, how much would you say that we've been able to make?
At least a couple hundred.
At least a couple 100,000, not dollars. Guys, we're on the same wavelength here. So guys, you're gonna watch this video right till the end, because you're gonna get strategies on how to work with a real estate agent. You're gonna hear coaching while we're on the call, listening to how they're having these conversations. And then you're gonna also learn how you can get your hands on lists just like this, so you can work with a real estate agent and get these deals yourself. Keep watching.
And hey guys, this works if you work it.
All right, so today we are going to be calling canceled and expireds. Before we get started, Monique, can you give us some insight as to why this specific niche list, so canceled listings and expired listings, has become so lucrative for you over your decades-long profession? Explain that.
I love expired and canceled because why? They've already raised their hand. They've already said, I want to sell and I haven't been able to. So they're typically frustrated and want a solution. And here we are, right? My team and I are here to provide a solution quickly, and we can say, hey, let us come over. We're gonna identify 1, 2, 3 things that we're gonna do differently, get you back on the market and get you sold in 30 days. It makes sense for realtors to call them, right?
Right.
And a lot of them are gonna be, some of them are gonna be distressed, and some of them are gonna be great listings for you to take.
So
right?
Distressed or disappointed. Imagine this, right? You hire a real estate agent and you're not talked to in truth. They're not telling you where they think the house really needs to be priced, or maybe they're just out to lunch on where they think things should be priced because they're trying to win the listing. Real estate agents, if you're watching this right now, I'm not knocking on you guys. I completely understand that it's difficult out there and you're doing your best. At the same time, there is a fiduciary obligation that you hold when you're talking to a client to be honest with them, so that you don't have to have a listing sit on the market for 6 months. So what are some of the reasons or some of the things that these sellers think their agent did wrong when you're on the phone with them?
Number one is they'll say, you know what, they just kept telling me, they didn't listen, and they just kept telling me to lower the price. So what that tells me is what Jamil just said is absolutely correct. When they first met with them, they overpromised, of course, under-delivered, didn't tell them the truth up front. Then your seller doesn't trust you. And then if you do need a price reduction, which in this market you might be needing because it's a traditional market, if you haven't gotten a contract in 2 to 3 weeks, you want to revisit the price. Again, they don't trust you. So we come in, we tell them the truth up front. They trust us. We keep in communication with them over the weeks, right? Every week, we're calling them 2 to 3 times. They're getting text messages, emails, so they know what's happening.
Right.
They just want to know, they want to feel special.
Right.
Make me feel important, because they are important.
Right.
Right.
Are you ever climbing up an uphill mountain with price expectation because it's been set incorrectly from the other agent, that they're now just living in this world where they believe their house is worth a dollar amount that it isn't?
100%. We look for motivation and then we pre-qualify. So if a seller says, yes, Monique, I'm interviewing agents, wonderful, what time tomorrow? 2 to 4 works better for you. I'll see you at 2. Great. Before I come out, there's going to be a few questions that I'm going to ask you just to better serve you. I'm going to go down a list of about 12 questions and pre-qualify them to make sure they're in reality.
Do you have the 12 questions that you asked memorized?
Of course I do.
Of course she does. So what are those 12 questions, Monique?
All right. So Jamil, before I come out, there's a number of questions that I need to ask you. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right, great. So if what I say makes sense, you feel comfortable, confident that I can sell your home, are you planning to list with me once I come out to see you tomorrow at 2?
If I can get an understanding that we make sense, absolutely.
That's wonderful. And Jamil, were you planning to interview more than one agent for
Yeah,
the job of selling?
I am. I'm in a situation right now where I'm not really trusting of the whole process because I've had 6 months of my time wasted.
I know.
And it sucks because I do need to sell this house,
Yeah.
and so I have to interview people because the first person I trusted was the wrong instinct.
I totally get it. And you know what? You should do your due diligence. So I can totally appreciate that. And tell me, Jamil, ultimately, what are you looking for in the agent you choose?
Well, I want somebody who understands where this house needs to be priced so that it sells. First and foremost, they have to get me the top dollar for the house that I have right now. Of course, I understand that my house is dated and it needs a little bit of work, but I'm not trying to leave a bunch of money on the table. But I also know that this is very likely going to sell to an investor. So I just need to be shot straight, and I need to understand how I can get this done as quickly as possible for as most money as I can get.
Wonderful. So what you're saying is that you want an agent that's really going to defend you and the price that we set on your home. Is that right?
Yep.
And then once we help you sell the property, where are you going to be moving to next?
Well, I haven't really made that determination. I'm going to go move in with my kid for a little while, and we're going to, decide if we want to stay in state or if we're going to move somewhere else. But I have a place to go, so I'm not going to be out on the street. My things are going to be with my daughter, but I'll make that determination in the next 6 months.
Okay, so really the most important thing here is getting you the very best price. You already have where you're going to be going to. And so tell me, Jamil, what price would you like to list the property for?
Well, when we canceled, we were at $400,000. And I mean, at that point, my agent had said that this house is worth closer to $500,000. And we had reduced $100,000 over 6 months. And, now I have no idea. So I would like to list at 400 grand, but we didn't sell at $400,000. So I need you to just tell me where this thing needs to sit.
Great. Well, you're talking to the right person, Jamil. I'm going to tell you the truth up front, and that's, of course, what you want. As a professional real estate agent, Jamil, I study homes and prices every day. So I assume that you'd want to list with me at a price that would cause the home to sell, of course,
Correct.
right? That's what you're saying. What price won't you go below?
Well, I owe, $280,000 on the mortgage. I know that I have equity in here. I would like to walk away with $50,000 if possible, but I also know I need to pay the real estate agents in the deal, and so there's just some variables. It's tough for me to say what I wouldn't go below, but I'm hoping for the most. I just need to know what will get me the most in the shortest amount of time.
Here's the good news, Jamil. I really think we're going to be able to get you even more than $50,000. So
Okay.
I'm so excited to meet with you.
Awesome.
What I'm also hearing is that you don't need, you would not like to finance a home for the buyer. You want me to get you all your cash out, right?
Correct.
Good. You haven't thought about selling the property yourself, right?
I did a for sale by owner for a little while prior, and it was just nonsense, so no.
That's wonderful. I'm looking at the MLS. I'm seeing all the pictures. I mean, it looks like a really move-in ready house. Anything else you think I should know about the property before I come out?
Well, yeah. First, if you look at those pictures, you could probably tell that the real estate agent took them with her Android. And
I saw that.
Really terrible photography. I'm hoping that if you become my real estate agent, that you'd have a hire a professional to come and do it.
Of course.
Maybe even stage the property. I don't know how this all works.
We're going to go, over
my
all
furniture
the
isn't
details.
the nicest, so.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. I'm going to email you a packet of information so that you can see our marketing plan, the comps, a link to my website, my client reviews. Can you think of any other questions that you would have for me before I come out tomorrow?
Do you have any people in your back pocket that may want to give me an offer before you get here?
I'm so glad that you asked. I actually do, and that was one of our solutions for you. And I'm going to bring you a couple. I'm going to let you know what the market's going to bear. I'm going to let you know what my great investor is going to be able to offer you. And at the end of the day, I want you to pick the solution that's best for you. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, perfect. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 2. All right?
So that's it. That's how you close the appointment.
Yes.
And so
that's the pre-qualification.
It's a pre-qualification.
Yeah.
And I love how it's just, you're not quite making it, well, you're not making any representations, any promises. You're saying, hey, we got a lot to discuss, we got a lot to talk about. But I also like the fact that, I solicited from you the offer, like wanting to know that. But how often does that happen? Do they ask typically?
It depends, right? If I'm calling probates, yes.
Okay.
Right? If I'm calling expired cancels, no, very few.
Does the expired and canceled call go a lot like what we just did right now, or are they a lot harder?
They're probably a lot harder, but you get those people that are super motivated and it'll be like you.
Got it. What is the ratio to motivated to just nuts?
It's a smaller percentage that are going to have those conversations. So you're just looking for the, I don't know, maybe like the 20 percentile.
So you guys got to see the fantasy version of it. Now we're going to see it in reality.
Boom, let's go.
You ready to do
Let's
it?
go. All of my needs are met. I am blessed to be a blessing. My personal finances are increasing. I receive exceedingly abundantly above all that I could ever ask for or think of.
That's why I like it's cool to be on our team together, because we do the affirmations. I don't think that they're there for no reason. It works.
So my investor would be coming in at 310,000. Is that what you were expecting? A little bit lower, higher?
No, actually it's better than I thought it would be, but
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely lots of value in having a larger lot. Like for us here in the Phoenix area, you know, the standard lot 7,500, your lot is 13,000, so that's attractive,
yeah.
you know, for the investor as well. He can add space if he needs to, or, you know, obviously for the next homeowner, that's going to be attractive. Yeah, so just to give you a little bit more detail.
Everybody, this kills me. Everybody just calls about that house. It seems like nobody knows that the house that you guys are talking about, she owns 2 houses, one on each side of that house. You can skip a house, and there's another house, all within big lots.
Oh, I see that now. Are those properties needing to be sold also?
No, they're being rented.
Okay. So the one to the east.
1218 is where my mom lived. The other 3 are rental.
Wow, good for her. That's awesome. So you're going to keep them as rentals then?
For now, I don't have the heart to start putting people out on their ass right off the get-go.
Of course. Well, that would be wonderful. Are they owned free and clear?
Excuse me? Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Thank you, Mom, right, for setting you up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
that's.
rather have her back.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What was it sudden? Like, was it unexpected?
Pretty much.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Well, I'll tell you that, you know, that's obviously the offer. That would be like cash, as is. He would need an inspection period, you know, to walk through the property and, you know, take a look at the foundation, all the, you know, mechanics. But after that, he can close as quickly as 10 days, you know, after. So we could get you, you know, closed in like 3 weeks. If you show up, you'll get those occasionally.
Yeah. How often are you doing these calls?
Shoot, Monday through Friday. And if I'm being a really good girl, I'll pick up the phone maybe 10 or 15 minutes on the weekend.
How many hours you go?
Sometime between 3 and 4.
3 and 4 of call. They say if you don't dial 3 times, you never called once. How many appointments become listings?
So for me, I have a numbers analyzer and it tells me. So I'm at 90%. So I just have to get in
So
front of
when
people.
you get somebody to agree to an appointment with you, 9 out of 10 times you turn that into a listing?
Yeah.
And how many listings become closes for you?
I'm at about 60 right now.
Okay.
And probably 40 of those are listings
Okay.
so far.
You have a 90% chance of getting the listing once you get an appointment. And then once you get the listing, 60% of those close.
It sounds like a smaller ratio, and you know why? Because a lot of, like right now, I'm holding like 15 to 20 listings that haven't hit the market.
Got
So
it.
it's a little off balance.
Okay.
Like there's a traditional market, different things happen, right?
Would
like
you say maybe 70% then?
I think 70% is probably more like it.
That's a really interesting stat, right? In that amount of time here, you got a 7 out of 10 chance of that turning into a check.
Oh yeah, like each hour that I prospect is like $600 for me. But let's call it like it.
I'm gonna go get you breakfast.
Let's call it like it is though. Hey, that's 20 years.
Yeah.
But look at Amanda, 4 months in the business.
Yeah. So 4
Has
months or
brought
20
you like
years.
seven deals.
Yeah.
So we can fast forward your growth.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail.
This is Melanie Beauregard with Remax. I saw that your property came off the market. Okay, go ahead.
No, I said good morning.
Oh, good morning. I thought you said one moment. I was calling to find out if you're planning on interviewing the right agent to list your home.
Look, this is ridiculous. I am not interested to list in my home again. Okay?
Okay, there's a lot of people that are calling you, and I appreciate that. But sometimes I've been able to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I specialize in selling canceled listings, and I've been very successful doing that. So I just try to call to offer that if you wanted to sell your home and you had the opportunity to do so, then I wanted to make sure that I could offer my services. Are you planning on?
No, to be honest, so I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I have no intention to release it again for many reasons. But I have intention to be open to cash buyers.
Okay, great. Do you have a?
It isn't about numbers. Yes.
Okay, what would your number be?
Yes.
What is your number? Like, what do you need to sell the property for to get it for your, to get it sold?
Depends. So depends. What would be your commission?
So
If you bring me the buyer, yes.
we work with investors. We work with investors, and I'd be able to get you a cash offer, and then you wouldn't have to pay any commission. So what was it
How much?
what caused your property not to sell?
No, I didn't understand what you said. Answer on my question. How
Okay.
much? What would be your commission if you bring me the cash buyer? How much would you charge?
If I brought you a cash buyer, you would not be paying any commission.
Right.
So I'm going to look up your property right now. Can you share with me what you think caused it not to sell?
And sometimes we get totally different from 1 to 2 days after calling them. They'll tell you something completely different. I have a listing appointment next week with a gentleman that told Amanda that he was going to wait for a year. Like I was saying, you want to keep calling until they give you an appointment or tell you no. But if there's any indecision that maybe, or I don't know, or still thinking about it, like put them on your list to call back again.
And I will be not, responsible for the commission, for the closing costs.
That is correct.
Taxes,
Yep, and I can bring you a contract today, and it will list that on the contract that all of those closing costs go to the buyer. They're not. So the $255 is net to you. And this is why I do specialize in this, Elvira, so it's something that we do all the time. So we work really hard, to make sure that we work with the right people so that we can get this done for you. But since you don't have anybody in the property right now, it would be really helpful if I could go to the home and take pictures, meet with you in person. I can bring the contract with me and we can get it sold at the $255.
And so how long it takes to start and to close? Like 2 weeks?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
More?
2 weeks.
3
And
weeks?
yep, two to 2.5 weeks, we'll say.
And if it's any contingency like inspection?
Right, we have a short inspection. I mean, that's pretty typical. We just do a short inspection, but we get it sold and just go through the normal process, but we can get it sold faster than a traditional sale. So.
Okay, and one more. So somehow, put your cash offer to be, it's possible to be a little bit higher, just a little bit by a few thousand.
No, and I can appreciate that question. Usually when we work with the people that we work with, we get the highest offer for our clients, for our sellers. And it's obviously, I know that it's not exactly what you wanted, but we're not far off and we can get it closed within 3 weeks or less. So that's where the savings is for you. And you don't have to put it on the market. You don't have to do anything further with the home. It's bought, it's purchased as is.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, great.
Yes, older, and it will be for your investor additional expenses, and your investor will decrease price.
Can I talk to you for a second? So just so you have a little bit of background, we sell about a little bit less than 100 properties a year. And we work really hard on our team to have these relationships. We only have 2 specific investors we work with. So here's the thing. when I tell you that they're purchasing it as is, they are, but they still want to go look at the property just to make sure that the roof is, you're a very honest person, you're telling me all this great stuff, but we still need to go check it out. It's not about coming to ask you for those items. It's not about, anything like that. So we close on properties on a monthly basis. So this isn't something that is just a one-off thing. So what you're telling me is awesome. It's no different than any other seller that we've been working with. I just want to reassure you that the inspection is simply just so they can go check the property out, make sure that they have the time to check into the HOA, to make sure that everything, is copacetic with all the purchasing, steps of, getting the property. So I can appreciate that. There's no going to be asking for new AC and all that stuff. I mean, everybody understands that. This isn't just like a one-off investor. This is somebody who they purchase many properties on a monthly basis. So all I just want to do is I have the purchase contract. I'm gonna, where are you located that I can come meet with you, and then I can have you sign the contract to get this started? I decided to go back to expired listings after you guys were talking to probates, and I was like, I'm just gonna jump on expired again and see if the after people will answer.
Today, current expired?
Yeah, current expired. So I was like, I just don't wanna, no one's answering the phone, so I went back to expired again, and then she actually almost hung up on me, and I was like kind of firm with her, and I said, I completely understand. I specialize in selling canceled and expired listings, so I'm just calling to offer you my services because I can see that you didn't sell your property. And then she changed her tune with me, and
Is it a golf course lot? Am I remembering
Yeah,
that correctly?
yeah,
Okay.
the whole back of the yard going out that's what everybody loves. It's one of the largest lots.
already do an inspection?
And,
Yeah,
it looks
their
out on
final
golf
is
course.
389. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to talk with my investor, and I will get back with you.
That'd be fine.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're in play. Let's take a look. So offer pack, give them $389 net.
So this is from a while ago. So from 8:31 is when I originally talked to him.
Okay.
And so then I've just, I continue to follow up with him.
See, what I'm doing is I'm trying to just look at everything that's backing the golf course, right? And I'm looking for evidence of something over 500 to kind of justify a 390 or a 395 sale. There's stuff at over 500, but it's all significantly larger, right? We're like 2,300 square feet, and you got 1,400. That's it's like 1,000 square feet difference, right? So in our size, I'm seeing like 450, which makes you wonder how are they going to buy this at 390?
He said that's their final price. That's with commissions and
That's net to him?
repairs. Uh-huh.
I mean, maybe they have holdings in this area that they just like it, That's also something that sometimes they do because out of just pure convenience, because they already hold there. They're like, yeah, we can overpay just because we're already invested in this neighborhood. This is one where I think the iBuyer wins.
Okay.
So I think they've got a pretty solid. At 390, they got a solid number. This is my only red herring. Is this 500 sale, but it's from February 2022, and it's not relevant any longer. So.
And it's not completely updated. So it's like money still needs to be put into it.
100%. Yeah. So they're paying above retail for it, in all honesty, in its current condition. So it just something feels amiss. I feel like this seller may not be fully understanding the way that that OfferPad or Open Door might be taking their fees off. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just really have a good number and they're bullish in this neighborhood. It could also be that. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't win them all.
Yeah.
Yep. I just want to do a quick tally up here because we've been 2 hours, and how many leads from you, Monique?
So I had 3.
3 leads.
Yeah.
Amanda, 1 lead. 1 lead. So 3, 4, 5 leads, guys. That's 2 hours, 5 leads. So anytime that you hear somebody, for instance, you got an acquisition manager or you're working with somebody in-house that is doing cold calls for you, look at the results here, right? Of course, this is lots of experience. This is having me around here to quickly give them numbers, and this is a little bit of an easier setup. It's the A game, right? But But you see this, right? You see how it works. I think this gives you a framework on how wholesalers you can work with and leverage your real estate agent partnerships to do these types of deals, right? Where you become the cash buyer or the go-to cash buyer for your agents. Real estate agents, if you're watching this, this is a great way for you to go get your listings. This is a great way for you to get deals for your investors. Or if you're an investor yourself, this is a great way for you to go get these deals under contract. So again, to quickly recap, we did canceled, expireds, and probates. They also went back and called leads as old as May. So never feel like you've got a list that's too old. Never feel like you're following up too many times. Monique just got a deal wrapped up, or about to get a deal wrapped up from a person who's been ghosting her for 5 calls. This is the game. We had somebody that told Amanda she wasn't going to sell last week, and then Melanie finds out today that they've already listed with somebody. So there's opportunities everywhere. Sellers are full of shit. So you got to do your part to talk, ask the right questions, build rapport, and get the deals done. If you guys got any value from this, do me a favor and tell me what city you're in, and I might be able to just send you a probate list in that city. Leave me a comment below, and we'll see you in the next one.